New York City homeowners are reacting, and something strange is happening, especially after Zohran Mamdani's recent election win. People are scared that the city's heading downhill fast, and honestly, I want to know what your prediction is. Will the city be built up or will the city crumble? What do you think about that? I mean, New York City already boasts one of the highest cost of living in the nation, with sky high property taxes and high sales tax rates that make your wallet weep. Now, with Mondami's bold promises on the horizon, hardworking folks are saying enough is enough. We're looking for greener pastures. And guess what? My office, all the way in Myrtle Beach, South Carolina, Jerry Pinkas Real Estate Experts, has actually been blowing up from calls from New Yorkers who are ready to make the move. So, what's really going on here? Let's break it down. Mondami is the newly elected leader of New York City, and he ran on a platform packed with socialist ideas aimed at making life better for everyday New Yorkers. Sounds great on paper, right? The free stuff, the higher wages. But the big question everybody is asking is, who's going to pay for all this stuff? And that's exactly why so many residents, especially homeowners, business owners, and others, are fleeing. When the money generating people, the entrepreneurs and the high earners and investors who fuel the Empire State's economy, start leaving for places with lower taxes and lower costs and a way better lifestyle, what actually happens? So, does the city crumble under the weight of its own ambitions? Is New York City next? Well, first off, his economic and housing policies. Now, here's where Madame wants to make public buses free for everybody, all riders. And that's going to be awesome for commuters, but that's millions in costs and millions in lost revenue. Poof, gone. And then there's the bumping of minimum wage up to $30 an hour by 2030. And that's a huge jump from the current rate. While it does help low wage workers, small businesses are absolutely panicking on how they're going to afford it without price hikes or cutting those jobs. Rent freezes on stabilized apartments. Sure, it protects tenants, but landlords are saying it'll crush property values and totally discourage any maintenance. And that's the thing that many comment on is he's pushing for city-run grocery stores. You heard that before, right? Starting with pilots in each of the boroughs. But is the government competing with private stores? That could drive up costs and create even more bureaucracy. And then the police and public safety. Mondami's all about reforming the NYPD and reallocating funds away from overtime and even disbanding units that handle protests. He wants to reduce police involvement in some emergencies, shifting the responsibility to mental health workers. But at the same time, he's talking about increasing police presence in other emergencies. So it's a mixed bag, but really critics worry that it could lead to slower response times, more crime, or more confusion in the streets. And the city already has been dealing with crime concerns, and this is particularly for a lot of families, making them feel uneasy. But here's the kicker, the funding. All these are grand ideas, but they're supposed to be paid by jacking up taxes on the wealthiest New Yorkers who are earning over $1 million a year and then cranking up the corporate tax rate on top of that. He also wants property tax reform to shift the burden to homeowners in nice neighborhoods. It's a noble goal, but making the rich pay more, in reality, the high earners and corporations, they're not sitting still. They're now relocating out of the city to more tax-friendly spots like Florida, Texas, or even South Carolina. And we've already seen the billionaires and millionaires from businesses bolt NYC during the pandemic and taking their tax dollars with them. When more and more follow, who's left to foot the bill? It's the everyday, hardworking people, that's who. Those costs trickle down, the property values tank, and the cycle of decline, it speeds up. Now, this just isn't a theory. It's happening right now. And calls are flooding into Jerry Pinkas Real Estate Experts from New Yorkers who are fed up with this uncertainty. They're trading their cramped apartments and brutal winters for Myrtle Beach's sunny shores, affordable homes, and laid-back coastal vibe. Now, one lady told me, and I quote, "I'm slashing my cost of living in half, ditching those insane taxes, and actually enjoying life, the beaches, the golf, the seafood, and my dollar stretches a lot further." End quote. Look, after helping over 2,500 people move, my team is now seeing hundreds of New York City residents making the switch too. So are you one of those scrambling to leave New York City? What do you think's going on? How is this going to affect you, and how is this going to affect everyone else in the United States? No matter where you live, or what you're doing. I hope you're having a fantastic day. And if you've been thinking about relocating, pick up the phone, give us a call at 843-839-9870. Look, Myrtle Beach is booming with lower property taxes, no state income tax on retirement income, and homes that won't break the bank. I do appreciate you watching, and I want to know what your take on the New York City exodus is. Comment below, I'd love to hear it, and I'll see you in the next video. Take care, guys.